Hey YouTube, this is Dean making another vid. If you like my content, please consider hitting the like button. Also, please consider subscribing, as it is very much appreciated. Just another discussion piece today. I haven't done a video in a while about this, and just my thought processes and a few things that I've discovered as in this journey. This is mainly focused on flint and steel, but it would work very well towards any fire making thing. So while I focus primarily on flint and steel, I do other fire things. I use ferro rods and light, and this would work very well for a ferro rod as well. Not necessarily kit building mentality, but just a discussion piece. Anyway, when you're building your kits and doing flint and steel, I found that basically with flint and steel, you only need three things when you're doing flint and steel. You need your flint or rocks, you need your steel, and you need your char, or that sort of thing. Not necessarily char, just your tinder, so that you can get an ember with, be it slow lamp wicks or slow match or whatever, amadou, char materials, funguses, whatever. But I have found a few items that once you get them, basically you'll think, why did I ever not have these to begin with? And those few items are, to me, basically essentials. Once, as I said, once you get them, you'll never go back to not using them. Also, with flint and steel, you'll also find you do really require a tinder box and a char tin. It's not necessary per se, but it's pretty damn hard to do flint and steel without either a tinder box or a char tin. I didn't bring a char tin out, but I've got a tinder boxes. I'll show you them. I did find once you get into this and you want to make this your hobby, the rabbit hole is very deep. You can get in there and spend a lot of money on it, no worries whatsoever. Also, you can do it pretty cheap, but you do it however you want to do, whatever your budget can allow. Do not allow other people to dictate what you want to spend your money on, as far as how much you want to spend on and whatever. You do you. Don't look at... I've got 200 strikers in my collection, but I love collecting strikers. If you just want to use a piece of broken off file, non-heated, just a piece of broken off file and a rock you found in your garden and some char cloth, and that's your flint and steel for the rest of your life, that is fantastic, and I will never say that that is wrong. That's how most people start out. That's fantastic. I would never disparage you or look down upon you for doing that. That's, if you know me, that's not me. But I know some people would probably think, well, why don't you go and buy a real steel or whatever? But you don't need to do that. But that being said, a lot of people will go and get steels that are made by a blacksmith. I did find that I was not happy with just a snapped off file. They are perfectly serviceable, they spark great, and they are fantastic. But once I got into flint and steel, I did find I liked everything about a handmade striker. There was something about it that really caught my attention, and then I do like collecting things too. That's something. So I did like that. And then when I met Andrew, and he was kind enough to say, come over to his forge and show me how to, about 3 years ago, how to make strikers. That opened a whole new thing up, and I got into making strikers. So yeah, that's that's a whole thing. But yeah, it's a little bit of a tangent, but it's still involved in that. So yeah, if you can get cheap strikers. I've done videos on that. Cheap, I don't like using that word. You can get cheap strikers that are crap, but you can get budget-orientated strikers that work very well. The Ted Cash ones, C-type strikers, are very good. There are a lot of Craftomatic strikers that are not that expensive that work really well. Snapdoor files really work really well. But the thing I want to talk about today is a few bits and pieces that you can add to your kit that will make your kit so much better. One of them, ember files, ember tongs. I bought a set of these because I saw on a video Blackie Thomas had a set of tongs. It was actually a multi-tool that he had, and I thought, now that was fantastic. And these come back from the old pipe blokes who used to have them, and they would pull embers out of fires to light their pipes. And I thought, that's a fantastic idea. I looked it up online, and they were quite expensive. And I thought, oh, well, I didn't want to pay the 40 or 50. I think one set was $60 or $80. But anyway, I bought a set of tongs from my $2 shop. These work great for a long time. I still use them out here. Great. But this was the first set I forged, or my son Lawson forged them, and they work fantastic. They are really, really good. They are almost mandatory now. I don't know how I ever went without these all for so long. A set of ember tongs. I make them out of 4.3mm stainless steel. Just bend them up in the forge. Yeah, fantastic. Just for picking up hot embers and manipulating embers, holding bits and pieces. Fantastic. You don't burn yourself, and they are some of the best things you will ever get. I just buy the steel rods off eBay. They're about $8, stainless steel rods, and then I just bend them up, bang them around a bit, and yeah, they don't take that long to make, and they're really easy to make. Excuse me. The other one, pocket bellows, cheap, $3 or $4 from China. I like the ones with the plastic bit on, just so I know which end I have to blow on. A bit thick, so it's really easy when I'm making videos. Keeps things in frame. Also keeps my beard away. Anybody knows I've got a big beard. It keeps my face away from the ember. I can direct my breath to where I need it to go. These are fantastic. Add that to your kit. Those two there, really good. The other one's the mat, the tinder mat I lay things down on. That is fantastic. This one I actually made up is a little bit of off thing I ripped out of a leather lounge, and I just cut it all up and then just stitched it up, and I'd lay my stuff down. But this is the idea, is you can lay your tinder mat down on wet ground, put your tinders on it, work on it, everything's there, it's all protected. You can actually build a fire on it if you needed to, and it all works out really well. This is really, really good. I use it as a display mat, but it's actually a tinder mat that is just fantastic for laying your stuff out. Good for display purposes. Everything about it is just fantastic. But that is the other thing. The other bit is starting to get into kits, and you just start adding that's your tinder box. But you'll quickly find you'll want to start adding kits, and then you just add your tongs, bit of you put a tinderbox in. I think this one's good. If I look down the bottom, yep, it's got a tube, pair of tweezers for ember management, candle, jute, that's the tube, candle, and my 10 cash silver tinderbox, all in a kit, all ready to go. There's a kit. The reason why I put those little tweezers in there is because I couldn't fit my ember tongs in there. But they are the same sort of thing. They're just a piece of surgical tweezers, and it was just for picking up the embers out of that kit, and it fit in that little container really well, a little leather thing, and away you go. Worked out really well. Nice little kit, all sorted out. I'll put it all away. The other one is for magnifying lenses. I won't pull it out. Again, it's just a lens, same sort of thing. Got amadou and white punk fungus and mugwort and all sorts of stuff in there with my 50mm lens in there. Again, just another little kit, all sorted out, ready to go. Again, as I said, these are just, once you get into flint and steel, you basically go down the rabbit hole and want to start building kits. But this one is mainly about the tinder mat, ember tongs, and your pocket bellows. Expanding the kit from a striker. Get yourself some rocks. That's one thing I didn't discuss. Yeah, once you're into flint and steel, you probably want to don't just have one rock. Get yourself some different rocks. I've got 3 sets of rocks there. Some Aussie green flint, Aussie grey flint, and some quartzite. I've got that many. I've got a whole heap of rocks over there, petrified wood, all various different rocks. Yeah, I collect rocks as well. So yeah, I went down the rabbit hole fairly quickly. Yeah, you burn your rocks out, so it's a disposable item. You just get more rocks, and as you go, you want more rocks. So in a kit, you probably want to put 2 or 3 nice pieces of rock in there, and a few bits and pieces. So you put your striker, few bits of rock, if you can fit them in, your ember tongs, your pocket bellows, some char, and tinderbox, and away you go. Anyway, it's just me rambling a bit. Yeah, as I said, these things aren't that expensive. You can buy these online. These are like, to buy a set, they're like $30 US plus postage. To get them to Australia, you probably pay another $30 in postage. So it'd be $60 for me to get a set of them. I can make them for $8. So yeah, I make them myself. I have the ability to do that. Yeah, these are cheap. You can buy them anywhere. Get them on eBay or whatever, the equivalent. Amazon. Yeah. One last thing. These little cookie tins make excellent kits. If you want to do flint and steel, that's a kit I make up. It's got a slow match, striker, bit of jute, couple of rocks, all in a kit. They could go in your haversack. I don't know. Yeah, that doesn't fit in there. You can put your pocket bellows in there as well. Have that on the outside. That whole kit go in your haversack. You're ready to go. Anyway, hope this has been interesting. Yeah, just a bit of a ramble on kits and flint and steel. Yeah, these make your life so much easier. I use them all the time. I use these all the time. And the tinder mat is yeah, just fantastic. Get your work up off the ground or whatever. Good for displaying pieces. If you ever had to do a demo or anything like that, yeah, take your mat. You can lay your stuff out. People could see it all. Nice contrast and colour. Yeah, everybody can see what's going on, and you could work on it there. One last bit: don't become too attached to your gear. As far as you strikers, you do, but yeah, all this other stuff's all disposable. It's going to wear out, so yeah, just don't become too attached to it. Once it wears out, throw it away, get a new one. That's simple as that. Yeah, I tend to invest a bit in it because I've made it myself. I've made it with my own hands, so yeah, I do tend to become a little bit more attached to things. That's one thing I have noticed. But yeah, mostly, especially with the rocks, don't become attached to them. They're a disposable item. Break them, whatever, throw them away. Yeah, tinder mats, yeah, they're disposable item. Yeah, everything else apart from your strikers, become attached to them. I do anyway. So yeah, I've worked hard on them. So yeah, they're treasured items. So they need to be cared for. But anyway, thanks for watching.